It's official, Carlos Alcaraz and Emma Raducanu will team up in mixed doubles at the US Open. Spanish tennis player Carlos Alcaraz and British star Emma Raducanu have received a wild card to participate as a pair in the mixed doubles category at this year's US Open, the fourth and final Grand Slam of the season. Meanwhile, Paula Badosa will be partnering with Briton Jack Draper. The media-savvy Emma Raducanu, who will be Carlos Alcaraz's partner in the new mixed doubles draw at the US Open, opened up about why she finds it difficult to make friends in the world of tennis. "I think when we're on tour, it's very hard to truly open up to other players you're competing against," said the world number 46 at a press conference during the Washington Open. Although she confirmed that she has some friends on the tour, she also admitted that playing against them adds another dimension, which she finds complicated in terms of her professional goals. "I have very good friends back home whom I can trust and talk to, but beyond that, I don't think. Yeah, this is. For me, it's just harder to compete against someone I'm friends with," she emphasized. The British player will be paired with Carlos Alcaraz in the new format of the US Open mixed doubles event, which will take place on August 19th and 20th in New York. In the meantime, rumors of a possible relationship between the two have soared due to the great chemistry they show whenever they're seen together off the court. The Raducanu-Alcaraz team is one of 6 pairs that have received an invitation to the championship, which will be held before the main tournament, on Tuesday, August 19th and Wednesday, August 20th at Flushing Meadows. A prize of $1 million, approximately €870,000, will be awarded to the winners. USTA CEO and Executive Director Lou Scher previously stated that they wanted to find a way to showcase the best men and women in the world competing with and against each other. "We were confident that we'd get the top players in the world excited about this unique opportunity. Seeing the pairs that have already signed up excites us all," he added. 2 more wild cards will be announced later to bring the total number of competing pairs to 16. 8 of the 16 teams have been directly admitted to the draw, including those formed by American Emma Navarro and Italian Jannik Sinner, and Polish Iga Świątek with Norwegian Casper Ruud. Additionally, Spain's Paula Badosa, who competed in last year's US Open with Greek player Stefanos Tsitsipas, with whom she has since ended her relationship, will this time play alongside Britain's Jack Draper. American duo Jessica Pegula and Tommy Paul will also team up to play on home soil. Other notable wild cards include Serbian Novak Djokovic with his compatriot Olga Danilovic, and 2-time Grand Slam mixed doubles champion Venus Williams, who will compete with fellow American Riley Opelka. The current US Open mixed doubles champions, Italian Sara Errani and Andrea Vavasori, have also received an invitation. Have you ever wondered how tennis stars train when no one is watching? And what happens when that training turns into a viral moment starring the champion's own family? Carlos Alcaraz, the world number 2, gave us a moment that was both funny and touching, and it happened with his younger brother. While training in Murcia in preparation for the challenging final stretch of the season, Carlos had an unexpected face-off with his brother Sergio. What seemed like a casual hitting session between siblings ended up surprising everyone on social media. What exactly happened? Let's find out. Carlos Alcaraz decided to focus his preparation for the North American tour in his hometown, Murcia. Far from the noise of the international circuit, the young player opted for a more intimate and familiar setting, a formula that has worked for him before. And in that context, a unique moment emerged that quickly went viral. In a brief but meaningful clip shared by journalist Herman Abril, Carlos is seen hitting balls with his brother Sergio, who is currently a professional footballer. What's remarkable is that, despite not being a tennis player, Sergio not only kept up with Carlos's pace but even won a point at the net. That rally ended in laughter and a handshake, showcasing both the sportsmanship and the brotherly bond they share. This simple yet genuine moment struck a chord with many fans and quickly spread on social media, interpreted as a glimpse into the human side of the champion. Even though Carlos Alcaraz is already an international superstar, he has never lost touch with his roots. From his childhood in El Palmar, he has always been surrounded by a tight-knit family. His father, a former amateur tennis player, was the first to introduce him to the sport, and his brothers have been present throughout his meteoric rise. Alvaro, the eldest, travels with him as an advisor during tournaments, and Jamie, the youngest, is also showing promise in tennis. Sergio, however, took a different path: football. He currently plays for Real Murcia, showing that athletic talent clearly runs in the Alcaraz-Garcia family. But this brief training session showed that, even though he veered away from professional tennis, he hasn't lost a bit of skill with the racket. His winning shot against Carlos was as clean as it was unexpected, sparking a digital ovation from thousands of fans. These types of family interactions are common in Carlos's daily life. He often shares the court with his brothers or with his coach, Juan Carlos Ferrero, blending hard work with a relaxed, close-knit environment. For him, that mix has been key to his growth as both an athlete and a person. Training with loved ones not only motivates him but also keeps him grounded. Preparing for the US Open is no easy task. Carlos chose not to play the Canadian Masters 1000 to focus on Cincinnati and the big challenge in New York. Every practice session, every rally, even the exchanges with his brother, are part of a carefully designed strategy to reach the top. But even amid the pressure, the Mercian knows how to enjoy the journey. The viral moment with Sergio also reminded us that behind every champion lies a story of shared effort. Carlos didn't reach world number 2 by accident. Behind every tournament are countless hours of practice, often alongside those who've known him since childhood. The trust his family gives him, especially through these light-hearted training sessions, is part of an emotional preparation that isn't seen, but is vital in top-level competition. What made this brotherly duel so striking is that it showed Carlos in an unusual light, not as the unbeatable player dominating the court, but as a brother laughing at himself after losing a point. That humility and authenticity are traits that have made him one of the most beloved athletes on the circuit. In a world of cameras and statistics, these real moments are pure gold. Sergio, meanwhile, has also earned a special place among tennis fans. Even though his focus is football, many were amazed by his tennis level. His connection with Carlos is clear, not just in blood, but in how they understand each other and enjoy the game. That kind of bond is hard to fake, and it's what made that short viral video so special. Carlos's family environment has always been his anchor. In a solitary sport like tennis, where travel is constant and pressure immense, having a close support network is vital. The Alcaraz family has turned that closeness into a strength, and scenes like this make it obvious. It's not just talent that drives the world number 2, but also the love and companionship of his people. Now, with the North American Tour on the horizon, Carlos is getting ready to face top-level challenges. The US Open will be a battlefield, with Jannik Sinner as a major rival. But Carlos arrives armed not only with technique and power, but also with a motivation forged at home, in moments like the one with Sergio. Because when training becomes sharing, the path to success is more solid. And while for many it was just a funny moment, for those closely following Alcaraz's career, that duel with his brother meant much more. It was a reminder of what truly matters: passion, family, and laughter after the grind. Elements that together make Carlos Alcaraz not just a great tennis player, but an admirable young man. Did you know that one of the most emotional moments in Carlos Alcaraz's career didn't happen on a center court, but on a simple training court with his father? Behind every champion are stories that go unseen, tears that don't get broadcast on TV, and an immense love for the game. Carlos Alcaraz's father opened up about those early years with his son, revealing moments as human as they are moving. What made him say to Carlitos, "This can't go on, we have to go home"? Let's find out. In a recent documentary released by Rolex, Carlos Alcaraz offered an intimate look into his past, and with him, so did his father. Carlos Alcaraz Sr., a former amateur tennis player, has been behind every step of his son's journey from day one. But it hasn't always been easy. When Carlitos was a child, his love for tennis was so great that there was no way to get him off the court. While other kids would get bored or want to go home, he would beg to keep playing. His father recalls those days with a mix of tenderness and exhaustion. After a day of work, the last thing he wanted was to stay on the court. But his son insisted, "Play with me against the wall." The young boy's energy was such that, even when his father said it was time to go home, Carlitos would burst into tears. It wasn't a tantrum, it was pure love for tennis. And that made all the difference from the beginning. That image of a child crying because he wanted to keep training contrasts sharply with the one we see today at major tournaments. But that's where the roots of success lie. Carlos didn't become a champion overnight. He was forged through dedication and a family that supported him unconditionally. His father wasn't just an occasional coach, but also a partner, a witness, and sometimes an obstacle he had to convince to keep playing. Today, as Carlos Alcaraz plays finals like Wimbledon, his father still watches him with the same eyes as back then, those of a proud dad who remembers the tears shed out of passion. Those memories have remained with both as signs of a destiny that was already taking shape. The relationship between father and son has evolved, but tennis has always been the bridge that connects them. These kinds of stories remind us that great achievements often have humble beginnings. They don't start in packed stadiums or under bright lights, but against practice walls, on tired afternoons, and with lots of love. Carlos Alcaraz didn't just inherit his father's passion, he turned it into a legacy. And every match he plays is also a victory for the family that never stopped believing.